We are sitting in the centre of our mat today to start off with. We're going to sit cross-legged. Doesn't matter which leg you have in front, because we are going to do all the sequence with one leg, and then we're going to do it all again with the other leg. So take your pick of which leg you've got crossed to start off with. Place your hands behind your head, interlinking your fingers, pulling out the shoulders, your elbows, and pulling your shoulders and shoulder blades together at the back, scooping those abdominals in. Let's minimize your abdominals and your waistline, and we'll start with just some flexions of the spine and some extensions of the spine. So we'll start with the flexion, which is bend your spine forwards, dropping your chin to the chest, slight little push to ease your spine a little bit more curved over. On a breath in, we'll take the spinal extension. Take your eye line up towards the ceiling. Support the weight of your head with your hands. Let's take it a couple more times. Breathe out to look down and breathe in to look up. Two more. Exhale, look down. Just guiding your head and your neck. And our last one. Think really sitting up tall and long. Think long spines as we're taking this. And inhale. Last one here. Staying in this position. We'll just bend over to one side. So taking a side bend. Take the hand that's nearest the floor to the floor, and then just turn your nose and see if you can look up into your elbow there. So you're feeling a nice sort of twist and a rotation and a side bend all at the same time. Let's bring it back, come back to center, and then go the other way. So let's bend first. Bend your spine over, bottom hand or hand nearest the floor, and then turn your nose up to your chin, there we go, to your elbow, and coming back and centering off. Taking your front leg, whichever leg's crossed in front, and we're going to pop it behind in our zigzag position. And we're going to take some rotations of the spine. So either way first, doesn't matter. You can hook your hand over your knee to prise yourself around, looking over your back shoulder. And then we'll swing around the other way, and again you can just hold on to your leg or your foot and just prise yourself round. Yeah, so we're taking a rotation both ways. Let's go again. First way. So I'm going towards my front leg first and then towards my back leg, but it doesn't matter which way you've decided to go. Let's take our mermaid. So same arm as your back leg comes up to the ceiling. Let's reach the arm out, reaching your body nice and long before we hook it over. Your elbow comes to the floor. Let's join the other elbow to the floor. Turn your nose and your forehead down to the ground. We're adding in a little bit of an extra twist today by trying to get your eye line, instead of to the ground, lift it a little bit and then turn and see if you can look over your back shoulder and see if you can see your foot that's at the back. Just have a look, see if you can see it or get close to seeing it. Then return back. Bring your hands closer to your legs. And then just take your spinal extension here. So lifting your sternum, your chest bone, pushing your shoulders down, and lift your eye line, your nose and your chin slightly up the side wall. Keeping those abs super scooped in. And then just return back to center. Let's cross the other leg. So the leg that's in front now, that one should be the one that stays crossed. And let's repeat that whole little sequence once more. So we're going 4 times, spinal flexion, spinal extension. Breathing out to flex. Breathing in as you pass through your neutral spine, and then take your spinal extension. Let's go again. Exhale. Inhale. Lovely deep breaths, getting our breathing into place as well as this spinal mobility. And inhale, and our last one here. Just scoop those abs in, curl, encourage that bend, and now encourage the bend slightly backwards. Beautiful, that lovely extension. Now let's take our bend over. Doesn't matter which way again that you go. I've just decided to go the other way this time. Hand goes to the floor and nose. This is our pin-up pose, just from a different sitting position. And just return back and center, and then scoot yourself over the other way. Bend, 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 bend that spine. Hand to the floor and rotate. See how that just changes slightly, that sensation in your bend, in your stretch. And back and center. Your front, your leg that's crossed in front goes behind, and we're doing our twists, our rotations. So we can go towards the front knee, looking over your back shoulder, getting that lovely twist right the way through, that sort of spiraling through the whole spine. And then go the other way. We did this twice, once each way, twice each way, and breathing. And your last one here before we take our little mermaid to the other side. Our mermaid with a little continuation today. Same hand as your back leg comes up to the ceiling, and we start by reaching the sides away. Reach, 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 reach. Then we hook the rib cage over, bringing the elbows to the floor, the forehead close to the floor. Now we're adding on this extra little challenge to see if we can lift our heads and faces and turn, look over your back shoulder. See if you can see your toes of your back foot. Return back. Bring your hands close to your legs. Press up. Think of this like your spinal extension again, just from a twisted position. So looking up, chin up, chest up, shoulders down, and return back to center. Let's get those legs out nice and wide and do our saw again. So legs as wide as you want them, arms out nice and wide, palms to start off with facing the front, and we're going to lift our spines away, or lift our ribs away from our hips, rotate over one side, over to one leg. You're going to flip the hand of the thumb of the hand that's behind. You're going to flip that thumb down, and you're going to saw little toe off 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. We're coming back. We're centering off. Lift, rotate. Thumb flips down. 3 little pulses. 1. Trying to get your little finger to saw off your little toe. Let's go a couple more times each way. Lift, rotate, flip, saw, and 2. Keeping both sit bones on the floor, pressing down. So if you're going over to your right, you want to press your left hip bone down, your left sit bone, I should say, down. And let's go once more each way. Pressing the opposite sit bone down into the floor. 3 little pulses. Back to center, and our last one, last little saw, and 3, and return to center. Arms come down. We're going into some kneeling work now. So make sure you've got some nice padding underneath your knees. If you've got a double mat, or if you've got an extra little cushion, I've got an extra little double mat underneath me today. Now your knees can be close together, which will be a little bit harder to balance. So if you know balance isn't your thing, just go a little bit wider with those knees to help you. Bring your hands again back to that same position that we started with, behind the head. And we're going to take 4 bends over to the side, just trying to hook those ribs over. 1, come back to center, hook them over the other way. 2, and back. a 3. From this kneeling position, it's harder to cheat, I feel. And 4. And back to center. Same thing, arms just extended out to the sides. Going to look something like a little aeroplane or a bird soaring through the sky. 2. And lifting through those abdominals. 3. And last one, 4. It will become apparent why we're doing that in a second. So take your right leg and place it out to the side. Keep those arms out, reaching towards the sides. We're going to take a sort of warrior type movement here, shifting our hips over, reaching your hands together to the side. Then we're coming back and we're going to take a side bend. So think of that sawing movement that we just did. The hand comes all the way to the floor and you continue to take your top hand to try and touch the end of your mat and pull yourself back up. Let's do that 3 more times. Exhale, inhale, and exhale, and inhale. 2 more. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. Last one, and we're staying down there. We're going to do a little challenge down here, trying to get into that side plank. If you know this isn't going to happen for you today, you can just stay here, stay strong. If you can, let's bring that arm up to the ceiling and then shoot that other leg underneath. We're still a little bit curved here, so we want to just drop the hips and come into that beautiful side plank, the lovely straight line. Just hold it for 1 breath if you can. And then bring those knees back to the floor and take a little child's pose before we do that all again on the other side. So take a breath and then come back up. We're going to repeat those 4 bends from side to side with our arms here, 4 more doing aeroplanes, and then we'll go into the last little bit. So you know now whether you can have your knees together, whether that suits you, or whether you need them a bit further apart. Let's bend to the other way. If you remember which way you went first, let's just go the other way. And exhale. Inhale back to center, squeezing the glutes. And 3, trying to bend your spine. This is the objective, mobilizing the spine. Let's do it with our arms out, shoulders down, and see if you can almost get your fingers to the mat or to the floor, and bend, and back, good, and 3, diving and soaring through the sky, and 4. Your left leg comes up, leave your arms, comes out, arms are staying, and we're shifting over. We're coming back now. Think of this saw, curl, reach to the floor, and pull back. And second one. And lift, reach, curl, and pull it back. Third one. Coming back, reaching over. And our last one. Exhale. Remember, we've got this little challenge at the end here. So if we can, we're taking the hand up to the ceiling. And the other leg is scooting behind. We're still in a little bit of a side bend, so we're going to pull it through into a side plank, really strengthening the sides of our body. 1 deep breath, and then knees come to the floor and child's pose. 1 last time. Let's begin our front lying sequence with some 4-point kneeling stuff. So we'll turn into 4-point kneeling and just start it off with a few swim preps. So it's moving opposite arm to leg, sliding them along the mat without moving anything else. So don't hitch your hips or move in the shoulders. Keep your belly scooting up towards your backbone. Reach long, put them back, slide them in. Let's go on the other side. Now you can do these at your own pace. You don't have to go with me here. Nice coordinated movements. Slide out, lift up at the same time, reach long, coming back, trying not to sink over one side. Do one more at least, and pulling in. Good for your strength, that one. Continuing with some 4-point kneeling stuff, we're going to take diagonals. So I'm going to use my left foot because you can see it better, but I think go with rights, everybody. Right foot or right leg, left arm, lift up. So we're in that swim prep. Now we're taking a diagonal. See if you can make a diagonal line from your toes to your fingertips, and then draw it back without falling over to one side, without moving anything else. Let's take it another 3 more times. 2 more. Taking it to your diagonal, bringing it back, and taking it to your diagonal, and bringing it back. Put your hand on the floor. We're going to continue moving in the hips by bringing our knee in, out to the side, round, and back. So you can feel how that's a big circular movement within the hip. Do that about 4 times. You're going with your right leg. I'm just doing the one so that you can see it, the movement. And let's finish off with a lovely straight leg out and 8 pulses up towards the ceiling without sagging. Just prop us. Slow. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Now bring your right knee right the way through. So we're going into a pigeon type stretch here. Let's stay upright to start off with, and then you can find that position with your foot, your right foot, until you're feeling that lovely stretch over your right glute. And if you feel that you can, bring your elbows to the floor. This is going to increase the stretch. And then if you take your forehead to the floor, take it forwards and down to the floor. So don't bring it close to you. Take it far away from you. Pull your shoulders down. Scoot those abs in. Take a couple of breaths. Wherever you may be, you might still be up here. Just breathe. And then we're going to pull your leg, your right leg, back, and it's going behind you. Okay, nice and outstretched behind. Lift your left arm up to the ceiling. Following it, we're going to thread the needle 4 times. With this extra leg out at the back, it's going to make it harder to balance. So scoot through, and then you can also lift your leg as you look up. And 3 more. Second one. And second one up. And third one. Breath out to this part. And breath in for this part. 1 more. And peeking underneath that elbow. And just bring it all back. Let's take a brief child's pose once more before we do that on the other side. Starting from the diagonals. So when we're ready, it's going to be your left leg that comes out behind your right arm. And then we're lifting. Now we're taking diagonals 4 times. Take it to your diagonal. Even if it's a shallow diagonal, and back 1. Breath out, scoot those abs in, and 2. 2 more, 3. Your eyes and face are down towards the floor, so no following your limbs on this one, and 4. Bring your hand to the floor and start to circle your hip around by taking this sort of bent knee circular movement. 3, lifting that knee up and over. Trying not to lift the hips, just trying to move your femur within your hip socket. Stretch it out. Let's go for those 8 pulses. And 8, 7, squeezing those glutes. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing it through, finding your pigeon-like stretch. Here, find it first. Even those hips up. You want to adjust the position of your foot to make it more challenging, then do that. Aha. And then also you can go down onto the elbows, reach your forehead forwards, and rest here or stretch here. Stretching out glute medius here. Woo-wee. And we've got our thread the needles to do. So your left leg goes out at the back. This is optional. If you want to just do your thread the needles with your both knees on the ground, just modify it. And other arm comes up and dive down. And lift up. Let's see if we can get a little lift in that back leg. And 2. Just a tiny way. And 3. And lovely. 4. And beautiful. Let's bring it in and take a child's pose one more time. Let's come up to kneeling. And just stretch our quads out. We're going to take one transitional movement or a series of transitional movements down to lying on our fronts. But before we do this, I just want us to stretch out the quads. And again, just thinking about this spinal extension so we're prepared for what we're going to do down there. Let's start with the quads. Let's just take both hands behind us, scoot the abs in, tuck the pelvis under, and just raise your bottom away from your heels. That should be enough just to feel a little bit of a stretch for the fronts of your thighs where your quads are. And just another couple more times. We'll breathe out as we lift our buttocks. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And down. And one last one. Try not to take it in the shoulders. Keep the shoulders away from your ears. Beautiful. Now just stay kneeling if that's comfortable for you. And we're going to just bring your arms out to the sides. This is when we're lying. Imagine you're lying down, face down, and your arms are in a T shape. Now you're going to pull the palms of the hands together behind you without puffing out your chest and your belly. So keep that nice and still and just pull those arms back. If you want to, you can grab hold and just pull a little bit, just opening out the chest. A little look, a little lift of your chin up. Just working that upper body. Let's bring it around and let's take it one more time. If you want to, you can just pull them together, or you can actually grab hold and pull them that way. And relax, good. So to get down in this transition to get down, we're going to start in a down dog. We're going to go through to a plank, we're going to go into a cobra, and then we're going to lower our knees and our elbows to the floor to get into Sphinx position for our next exercise. Okay, we're only doing it once, so we'll take it nice and easy and start in 4-point kneeling, tucking your toes, hovering your knees, and then popping up into your down dog. Press into your heels, press into your shoulders, scoot those abs up towards your backbone. Take a couple of breaths, feeling that stretch in the hamstrings, in the calves. Now walk your hands a little bit further forwards so we can come into this lovely front support position. And just hold it. Again, just one little breath. Lower your hips towards the floor. Take your eye line up at the same time. And think about opening out your chest as well here. Keep it tight. Keep squeezing. Now lower your knees to the floor. Knees, knees. And then uncurl your toes. Elbow, elbow. Come down. And we're ready for our one leg kick. So this is just a lovely stretch down the fronts of your thighs, which we've already stretched out, so it should feel really nice. Just alternating legs, trying to kick your bottom with your toes and with your heel. Toes, heel, stretch your leg away, toes, heel, stretch it away, toe, heel, stretch it away, toe, heel, and stretch it away. Great. Let's go into our swan dive preparatory exercise. So we're going wide now with those elbows. Hands come out. They are level with the top of your head, or you can have them a little bit level with your ears, depending on what you feel is best for you. And we're going to take our usual lift up of the chest, the head, the belly button, the chest. Press up, extend your elbows if you can. So the further forward your arms are, the easier it's going to be there. And now we're going to take some head movement. So you're going to look over one shoulder, back to center. Look over the other shoulder, still squeezing those glutes, back to center. Lower yourself down, lengthening your spine away from your hips. All the way. Let's do that one again. Again, looking over each shoulder whilst we're up there. Breath in, press up, pull your abs away from the floor. Now let's turn our heads the other way first. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. And inhale, down we come. Elbows, the belly button is the last thing to come down. Good. One more, and this time we're going to do nose arcs. We'll do one nose arc down and we'll do one nose arc up. Out we go. Belly button scooping up and away and pulling ourselves up. That's it. Beautiful. Just turn your head to one side. Now to get it to the other side, you're going to go with your down nose arc. Now to get it to the other side, we're going to do our up nose arc. And let's do it the reverse way. Let's start with the up. And then finish with the down. So it's almost a circle there. And lower ourselves back down. We've prepared for the next exercise with our arms out in a T. Keep squeezing those glutes. Keep those legs really nice and tight with lots of energy going on here. We're going to lift the sternum and the arms and the head as we breathe in. Then we're going to take the arms behind us. No need to clasp this time. And then bring them back to your T. Try to hold the height of your spine and lower down. So it's a lovely flying movement. And inhale and exhale. Bring them back. Inhale and lower down. Two more of these. Breathing in. Breathing out. Pull those palms of your hands as if you wanted to clap your hands together behind you. And last one. Let's see. Can we get them to clap? Yeah, kind of, nearly. And down we come. Excellent work. Right. So let's just move straight onto side lying. Nice exercise coming up now to just have a bit of active recovery. Knees are going to be bent. Arm level with your shoulder, the other arm just on top. Your head, if you want to put a cushion underneath here, that's fine. You can put it, or a block, but you don't really need one. And let's take our opening of the book just twice. We're going to open the top arm, following it with our eyes. Remember, your shoulders can unstack, but your hips stay stacked. So shoulders, one shoulder has gone further back than the other, but my hips are, hopefully they're still stacked one on top. Let's take that again. All the time, you're going to follow the hand that's moving, the arm that's moving, you're following those fingertips with your eyes. So you're also rotating your neck and coming back. Now bring that arm that was doing the movement to your hip and bring your other arm underneath you to make a sort of pillow. And let's go into clams. Let's take a thought of this waist. Yes, you can do your clams if you want to with your hand underneath here just to check that waist lift, or you can trust yourself to do it and just check that your hip isn't moving. And we're doing it 4 times, open and close, and 2. Feel, again, just feel that top of your leg moving within your hip, taking it to your own range. Yes, we can go a millimetre more each day we do this. That would be an achievement. Just try, that's it, lovely. And back. So let's do our internal rotation next. Lift your leg. Oh, I've got all caught up. My hair's getting far too long now. And invert your knees. So your toes and your foot is staying still, and we're bringing the knee down to the other knee. So it's the opposite of your clams, where you were trying to take your knees apart. This time you're trying to get your knees together. And again, 3. Keeping the waist nice and lifted, and 4. Beautiful stuff. Let's bring those legs together, scoot them out. This hand now comes to the floor, and we're going into our banana or torpedo position. So we'll start with the legs. What the legs do, lift your top leg just a little way because your bottom leg is going to join it up and down 4 times, and 2. Squeezing those thighs together, 3, and down, and 4, and down. Yeah. Oh, let's keep them up, and let's do 4 more, both legs. This is what your legs will need to do as we take our torpedo. 3 and 4. Now let's see what we do with the upper body during the torpedo. We're going to try to lift the arm and the rib cage and the definitely the shoulder and the armpit away from the floor. Let's start with a little curl, like you're beckoning someone. Curl your wrist, curl your arm. You can press into your hand this time at least. And again, 4 of these. Pulling up and down. 2 more. And down. Really strengthening those sides, working those obliques. Good. Present your leg up. Now you have the option to keep your hand here and doing it almost the full one with your hand down here and adding in the upper body, or you can do your hand over here, and 4 times we're going to try to do our torpedoes. 1 and down. I'm going to keep my hand on the floor, but you're welcome to keep it overhead. And 2 and down. 2 more. Breathe. 3 and down. And our last one. And 4. Beautiful. Let's turn onto our backs. Before we go on to the other side, let's do some spine curls up to our shoulder bridge position. You can do this with feet hip width apart, just nice and easy, knees hip width apart, shoulders down away from your ears, arms on the floor. Let's take an imprint as you squeeze your glutes. Try to draw your sit bones together underneath you, and then start to peel your spine away, vertebrae at a time. When we reach our shoulder bridge position, just check that your neck is nice and long, your chin isn't in or poking out, Your arms and hands are reaching towards your feet. You're nice and strong. Glutes are squeezing. And come back down. Let's take it one more time. Or 2 more times. If you're going quicker than I am, you can do it twice more. It's plenty of time. I do take this really slowly. We just want to feel what every single muscle, every single little thing is doing here. Just checking that it's right. I'm feeling strong. And then I'm coming down, vertebrae at a time. Press, press, press each bone down, returning all the way to neutral. Hug those knees into chest just briefly, but it's really just to initiate a rock and roll up so we can sit up. We can do that. There we go. And we can swing our legs over the other side. Ready to do our side lying, which started with open the book. Yes, that's where it started. Good. Opening the book. So knees bent, shoulders stacked to start off with, hips stacked. Hips remain stacked, but your shoulders come out of alignment as we take this opening out. Feeling that twist in your spine, that spiral through your spine. And close. Now, I haven't mentioned on this side the waist, but I'm sure by now that's just become a habit to lie with the waist and the ribs just slightly lifted. So you're in neutral spine. Let's bring us ready for clams. 4 normal clams. Opening and closing. Remember, try to up your game each time, or each time we do this exercise. See if you can open it just that fraction more. And 3. And last one here, 4. Keeping it all engaged, no rib squidging. And close. Let's do our inverted clams. So lifting the feet, so we're in a parallel position to start. The foot kind of stays as still as possible, but the knee comes down to join the other knee. And 2. So we must work that internal rotation as well as the external rotation. And 3. Woo. And last one, 4. And bringing it down, stretching out, ready for our torpedoes. And top leg comes up and bottom leg joins. 1, 2, 3 times and 4 times. Let's keep them together and take 4 more. Both legs at the same time. Working it right from within the abdominals and the obliques. 3. I don't know if that's 3 or 4. Not sure. Do 1 more just in case. It never goes amiss to do 1 more. And then let's work this part. Curl palm up towards the ceiling. Curl, press. If you lift your armpit away from the floor, possibly the top part of your rib cage. And 2. And down. Great. And 3. And down. Are we supposed to be joining this all together? Not yet. This is just the underneath part. Now we're joining it as much as possible all together. The leg comes up so we can join that bottom leg to the top leg. You can have your arm over and join your bottom arm to your top arm, or you can leave it down here for just that extra leverage for the moment. At 4 times, and inhale. And exhale. And inhale. 2. And down. Ooh, a lot of concentration. And 3. And down. And last one. 4. And good stuff, everyone. Now let's just go onto our backs. We must get some abdominal work in before we go up to standing. So let's start with our ab prep. Let's do the hundreds, some roll-ups. Yes, we just need to get going and cracking with this. Inhale, let's take our arms up. We all know the sequence here. Exhale, just 4 times. Inhale and exhale, prepping ourselves. And inhale for the 100, which is going to come in a second. Inhale, arms. Exhale, lower. 2 more, inhale. Pull those shoulders away from your ears, scoop those abs. Now stay in your ab curl on this one. And we'll prepare the legs up to tabletop, where we're going to take our first 20 beats of 100, and then we're going to do single leg stretch at the same time for the rest of our beats. And into 3, 4, 5, x2, 3, 4, 10, into 3, 4, 5, x2, 3, 4, 20. Scoot those legs out, 5, back, 2, 3, 4, 10, other leg, 3, 4, 5, back, 2, 3, 4, 40, into 3, 4, 5, back, 2, 3, 4, 50, into 3, 4, 5, back, 2, 3, that's 60, into 3, 4, 5, back, 2, 3, 4, 70. 80, 20 more, 3, 4, 5, back, 2, 3, 4, 10, into 3, 4, 5, back, 2, 3, that's it, that makes your 100. Cuddle those knees in, rock yourself around, get yourself feeling nice, and let's continue with some roll-ups. So we're just going to do 3 today, and each one is going to have a little bit of a different ending or a different beginning. So it's progressive. Do feel free to grab your little elements that you need to put underneath your waist, or some weights onto your feet, or inclusive into your hands if that's what works best for you. Arms come overhead. Feet are together, toes are up towards the ceiling. We've got lots of energy. Squeezing those legs together, pressing the heels down. Lift your arms as we inhale, exhale. Curl, imprint your spine, press your heels down, curling up. Reaching over, this is your classical roll up with your classical roll back down. So it's roll up all the way here, rolling back down. No fancy stuff, just the traditional stuff. Next one, we're going to do that to go up. We're going to change the way down. Inhale, arms. Press your feet, press your spine, curling up. So we're going all the way over. Now we're sitting up tall. Before that, we'll press our hands behind our heads. Press the back of your head into your hands. As you come up, keep pressing. Once your spine is tall, just keep pressing backwards. Hinging, 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 and then tucking and curling. Now the last one, you're going to keep your arms behind your head to roll up. So this is called the neck pull. If you can, it's hard. And exhale, push those heels down, curling up. If not, just do how you can. And we'll do the whole neck pull by coming up, hinging back. So, and then curling down. So that was 2 exercises from the classical repertoire, the roll up, and to end up with, those of you who managed it, you did the neck pull. Well done. Let's take a little double leg stretch exercise, just a few times, and then it's kind of going to be time to get up to standing and doing our standing finale today. Well, we are doing our new sort of double leg stretch exercise. There are 6 components or 6 phases to the exercise. Let's just roll through them a little bit, and then we'll do it 4 times. Okay, the 6 movements 4 times through. We start with a nice little cuddle of knees into chest, and that is also your 6th movement. So number 1, arms and legs up to the ceiling, scooping those abs in. 2, bring the arms and legs forwards into a diagonal. 3, reach your fingers towards your toes. 4, shoot your arms behind you in a diagonal. 5, curl your legs in. 6, lower down. Okay, I think we've got it. We're going to do it 4 times. We'll try to do it a little bit speedy. And 1 and 2, reach 3, shoot 4, cuddle 5, down 6, and a 1 and forwards, and reach and shoot, and in and down, and 1 and reach and reach. And we've got one more. Let's see if I get it right. And 2, and reach, shoot, and cuddle, and lower down. Lovely stuff. Right, we're going to stand to finish. You can either get up however you want to, or you can try to do a rock and roll up to standing. So you roll a few times like a ball. When you think you're ready, you cross your ankles and you reach your hands up towards the ceiling, and we stand up.
Okay, so now we're standing. We're going to take a little skiing exercise whilst we're here. So just to release out the whole body, we're going to take the arms up to the ceiling with a peel of the heels away from the floor. We're going to take, it's like a quick roll down, swinging the arms behind, coming back and rising. Then we're going to push the heels down into the ground and rotate, return back up and repeat. Now remember in your rotations that we're rotating the rib cage over the hips and the pelvis. So you can kind of think about taking your pelvis, rotating the opposite way to the ribs, which will really help to keep your pelvis nice and still. We're going to take it a few times just to get that blood flowing through the body, although we're probably already quite warm from all we've just done. So peel the heels away and let's swing down, peel the heels up and then rotate and lift, and thinking about that two-way rotation and rotate. So rib cage one way, pelvis and hips the other way, and lift, and just a couple more. Woo, and rotate and lift, last 2, and lift, rotate, lift, last 1, and up, rise, rotate, and lift, and just come back down. Lovely. We're going to go into a lovely roll down through the spine now. I'm going to turn sideways to show you, because we're going to take a little hamstring stretch and a spine twist as well whilst we're down there. So let's just take it easy to start off with. You can put your hands on your thighs just to help you down. We'll do a couple of roll downs before we stay down and take some stretching. So let's curl, drop the chin towards the chest, curl the abs over, pull back. That's it, and just vertebrae at a time, rolling down all the way. Hang down here, nice and loose, top of the head down towards the floor. Breathe, and then when you breathe out, scoot those abs back up, pull the shoulders down, and return all the way back up to lovely tall standing. Let's go again. Breathe in, prepare, rolling down, chin to chest, suck the abdominals, melt the knees. Arms are just hanging. And this time, place the hands on the floor. We're going to stretch the hamstrings by straightening the knees. Think about popping your sit bones upwards towards the ceiling and trying to get your nose closer towards your knees. And then bend. And again, sit bones up towards the ceiling, nose towards the knees. And down. Couple more. And 3. And then the last one, 4. Let's take a rotation whilst we're here. So just imagine that you're going to do thread the needle again. Taking one arm, following with your eyes and bringing it down. Then swap arms, go the other way. And down. Now if you like, on the next one, the same leg as the arm that's moving, so if it's right arm, right leg can stretch. And feel that hamstring as well as that rotation. Left arm, left leg stretches. Let's go once more each way. Beautiful opening out. And down. And last one. And then just curl yourselves back up. Stacking your vertebrae one at a time, all the way back up. Shoulders down. Great, let's move on. Let's do some strengthening work for our ankles and feet and legs. We'll start with our feet together. So zipping up the thighs together, putting the heel bones together. So what I don't want you to do when you're rising, for example, is to let those heel bones come apart. Really squeeze them together, and you can do that by just squeezing your glutes in here behind you. So we're going to take 8 rises, and then we're going to continue, do some knee bends, and then some heel lowers and lifts. Let's take this sort of genie pose here. Squeezing the glutes right from the word go. Legs, inner thighs are zipping up, shoulders are down, and we're going rise. Straight up, straight down. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, whoops, 5, really bracing those ankles. 6, we're going to stay up on the 8th one. 7, and stay up on the 8th one. Let's bend those knees, keeping the heels up, down, and up. 2, 8 times, up, 3, and up, whoops, 4, and up, doing what I'm not supposed to be doing, 5, good, and 6, heels together, 7, keep those heels together, and stay down there on 8. Now bring the heels to the floor, and lift 1, and 2, heels are lifting, up, and 3, and lift, 4, lift, 5, squeezing those heels together, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Let's take a similar sort of sequence of movements with our legs nice and wide in what we call second position, or just a nice wide stance, toes pointing outwards, so there's a little bit of rotation going on in the hips. Hands on hips, we're starting with some knee bends, 8 of them. Down and up. Try not to pitch your body forwards and up. Now as you come up, think about squeezing those sit bones underneath you. Together and up. And 5. Squeeze them. 6. Squeeze. And 7. They'll stay down there on 8. 8. Stay down. Pulses. Heel lifts, and 1, and down, 2, and down, 3, down, 4, bracing those ankles, 5, lifting those heels straight up, straight down, 6, 7, we're going to stay up there on 8 for our pulses. Now open those arms out, and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, feeling those legs shaking. Just give them a little shake out. Great. All right, last little exercise before we take our breathing and arms. Now you might want to grab a chair for this one, so I'll give you a couple of seconds to go and grab a chair, or to put the video on pause, whatever, and grab a chair. Okay, so we're going to do the seesaw, followed by a knee pull. So this is just giving us a little bit of extra stability here. You need to stand, if it's a chair, whatever it is, that's just giving you a little bit of a helping hand here. Stand about your arm length away from your support. Take one leg behind you. We're going to take our seesaw movement down. You can put your hands on your chair or on your bed or whatever it is you're using, or nothing at all. On the way up, we've got an optional hug of your knee in towards your chest. Doing it 4 times. So the leg goes through. Incredible amount of work here on that standing leg. And hug. And 3. And give it a hug. Concentration. 1 more. 4. Woo. And all of these little sounds I make as I'm concentrating and scooting in. Oh, yes, that other leg, that really does get it, doesn't it? So let's go on the other leg to finish off with. Let's see if we can do 4 perfect ones here. Arms out, leg out, and then down we go, seesaw, bending your supporting leg. Have a little bit of a moment there to regather your thoughts. And second one, oh, a little bit quick into that one. And 2, third one, 3, and back. And the more you practice your balance, the better it will become. And the last one, hugging it in, lovely hug. And just to return to center, you can put your chair away. We don't need it now, just get it out of the way for our last little section. And it's breathing and arms, okay? So going back into this same position, legs nice and wide apart, shoulders down, tummy's engaged. The arms are just going to go up and then press down. You want to imagine that you're pressing down through something that's quite hard to press down, okay? So against an invisible force. And let's bend the knees as we breathe in, take the arms up. Now that invisible force on your way down. And 2, breath in. And squeeze, stretch, press. 2 more, inhale. And squeeze, press. And last one. And squeeze, press. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this week's warm-up. I hope you enjoyed this week's workout.